el cerebro lector. Over all of this variety of themes and streams of research is the neuroscience research is telling us how the bilingual brain works. El cerebro lector. So let's look at the theoretical orientation. These are all of the areas where a teacher bases decision-making in the classroom on the theory, the body of theory, and the knowledge base of his or her orientation toward literacy. For example, setting goals in the classroom for both reading and writing, the procedures and materials that are used, and the way teachers use materials and information for instructional diagnosis. For example, miscue analysis and other forms of knowing how the child is progressing in terms of reading. And then learning activities and texts, how those are selected, but also the concept of what makes a good reader, right? Is a good reader a child who can decode well, even though he may not be comprehending what he's reading? He may be a word caller. Or is a good reader a child who is motivated to read everything he can get his hands on, right? And also the weighting that teacher gives to pieces of assessment, different types of assessment and evidence of children's learning. And then the environment, the overall classroom environment that is conducive to children's growth in literacy learning. So take a moment. And I'm going to have you think about one very famous researcher and his very famous theory, comprehensible input hypothesis, given to us by Dr. Stephen Krashen. So think, pair, share at your table. First of all, tell each other what comprehensible input means to you. And describe how you use that in your classroom or in your professional context. And then after you've discussed that one theory, think of one other theory that you may rely on frequently in your classroom. Did you talk about why I can't learn French by tuning into a radio station from Paris for an hour a day? Not comprehensible, right? Unless I understand what the language is saying, right? I'm not going to be learning the language. Did you think about the origin, where you learned that theory or where you heard about it? Okay, to show the impact of our great researchers. And in your packet, I've included a discussion of these the 5 big theories that come from Stephen Krashen.